was born by the river in a little tent. No, just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living. Let me try that again. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's out there beyond the skies. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. I go to the movies and I go downtown. Somebody keeps telling me, don't you come around. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Then I go to my brother and I tell him, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Oh, there were times when I thought I couldn't last for long. Now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. I don't usually sing. I wanted to do something that was going to scare me to start. I've always wanted to do that song. I've always wanted to sing. My children love that song. And it just means a lot to me, that song. So I always wanted to do that. I figured being it, my kind of whatever feature, I would just open with something that's going to scare the heck out of me, but it's going to make me feel good when I'm done. So I hope I did it justice. Rest in peace. So I have sort of like a prepared set list, but the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scare you. Because art needs to be, I think art needs to be tested. It needs to be challenged. It needs to be critiqued. So I have a poem here, and it started well, but I can't finish it. So it's on a clipboard, and I have a pen, and what I would like is I'd like to pass this poem around, and you can read it over, and add whatever the heck you want to it. I want to give it up to the people, you know? So if you're like, nah, I'm just not poetic enough, I don't want to taint his work, pass it on by all means, and it's not that great anyways. But if you're like, yeah, I can't wait to scribble some lines and make a team piece with Jamaal, if, you know, whatever that means, then go ahead and don't hog it, you know, put some lines, pass it on, and at the end of the set, pass it back and I'll read it. How about that?
Ooh,
So,
yeah, I like that.
I don't know. Be first. No. Start up here, and then whoever wants to write. It's a poem about kissing and stuff, so. Maybe I just thought I would give you a little preamble, you know. And the next thing I'd like to do is I would like to invite a really close friend of mine. It's her birthday today. She's a close artistic friend of mine. It's her birthday today, and we've worked together before, and it's always great, good and inspiring and great when I work with her. Her name is Laura Bittner, and I'd like to ask her to come up and accompany me with the piece. So Laura is a performing artist. She is a solo act at this point right now. She plays like I think 4 different instruments: vocals, hang, guitar, and ukulele. Right? Is there anything I'm missing? You tap dance? No. No?
Those are good. Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, we worked together. This piece we're about to perform is a piece that's going to be on my Whenever It Comes Out album, and it's one I wrote when I went to India. Yeah, when I went to India to teach poetry. So this is it. I dedicate this piece to those who feel that they've lost their life while still breathing. I want to write you a poem to silence the doubt in you. A poem to banish it from the home of your body. You are longing to find peace in the house of your mind, shade in the gaze of your eyes, safety in the palm of your hands, trust in the steps of your feet, and lodging in the breath of your word. For when the pulpit of your temple has lost its shine, and the well of your heart has fallen to the depths of despair time after time, let me write you a poem that will see you die twice in this life. Once, when you have freed your soul from the shackles of ego. Again, when you are called back to that perfect state before darkness taught you shame and only luminescence knew your name. And when you are called back to that perfect state, I will wait with you and fill these pages with verses a lifetime of musical chords could never do. Because this poem is not so much a music. It's not so much a record. This poem is a prayer. A monument to last beyond the time it takes to get us back to the here and now. I want to write you a poem to death. And then to life again. Laura is a hard-working artist. I admire her, the way she tackles her career, and she's going to be releasing an album fairly soon as well. She's always got stuff. Look her up, Laura Bittner. Laura Bittner on YouTube, Facebook. I don't know, Facebook. Yeah. You know, don't get all crazy with it, but you know what I mean. Thank you everybody for coming out. Urban Legends has been a blast for me for the last 2 years. I'd like to, just before I move into the next part, and hopefully that poem is moving around, I'd like to, you know, call out a special person that has been like, you know, just right there with me running Urban Legends. His name is Hamid Ibrahim, but he goes by Sensei, and he is an amazing poet. He's an amazing artist. He's a incredibly brilliant for his age. And you know, if you ever get a chance to just politic with Sensei, take the time. You're bound to learn something or feel some type of way. And yeah, he's been, you know, on the flip side, while I've kind of been like the the person who you see most at Urban Legends, he's been helping to get money, you know, space, money for Urban Legends, just networking behind the scenes, really. And Urban Legends would not be here without Hamid. And without all the other great organizers before us. Some of them are in the audience. Sean O'Gorman, Haif the Gypsy Son, Sarah Musa. I'm gonna call you tonight, Sarah Musa. he's not here. Right? So yeah, Urban Legends is it. Like, you know, I found my voice here. I know a lot of other poets found their voice here. And really, I just pray that it doesn't die. It just keeps going. It's really important for people to be able to speak and speak. We do it artistically, so art and empowerment. I mean, come on, what else do you want in life, you know? So the next piece I have, a gentleman named Barclay asked me to commission a piece for him at the Urban Legends Finals 2014. And I'm going to admit, I told everybody who got commissioned a piece, I'm like, get your pieces done by July 22nd or something like that. And I didn't get mine done. It's bad, I know. Bad organizing. But I was busy, and I told Barclay, I'm gonna get this piece done for you. I said, what do you want me to write, Barclay? He said, write about the voice, because this is what Barclay does. He's an elder, he's an artist, and he teaches artists and human beings in general how to release their voice, how to find it, release it. Some people may know him and have worked with him. So I'm like, oh man, I gotta write a new piece about voice. That should be easy. It wasn't. And it sounds like this. Something new. Something totally brand new, like a fresh pair of running shoes pouncing upon pavement on a Sunday morning, coursing through smooth rocks, unpaved roads to pristine fields, dew like raindrops spread across duvets of breadgrass, and the birds break dawn as they turn their beaks towards you, welcoming the sun to come like something new. Something completely raw and new, like a basket of fresh vegetables and fruit, table served for two with cinnamon, honey, and raisin oatmeal, my favorite, still scorching hot from the pot, licorice root tea brewed to soothe, to quiet down a raving sweet tooth, to awaken the laden spirit in you, to remind you that today is an opportunity to make last night's wishes come true, to polish the gem of another twilight moon into something new. Something pristine and new as dry, clean pillows turn from cool to soak, from open pores, sweat drenched, not from nightmares but adventures, and in that dreamland you were something of a hybrid beast. Part David, more Goliath, mostly Pharaoh, lesser Moses, conquering walls of doubt that guard your fears of dying voiceless in real life. In this arena of nocturnal stardust, you flaunt your scars and bike cycles, becoming airborne just before giving in to the gravity of your grandma's baby rosebush. I have no idea what this all means. Stinging with sin, smelling of innocence, swollen with pride from your moment of flight, blinking your eyes into existence just before slipping into slumber, where you wondered if a forgotten prayer is better than finding peace in your sleep, and cried because the sheep you keep in the back of your mind could not understand why your body felt weak from lack of knowing thyself, willing thyself into something new. Something astonishingly awesome and new, like the white crayons on white paper written in poetry under twin lamps born on a sliver of dusk where 32 blue lines went blind from 32 brilliant rhymes, as if words could not have been manufactured any better for a secret admirer. Sent forth as a telegram, a covert love letter. The subject of your desire, prompting a visit to the barber 2 middays earlier for something new, asking... Forgot to flip my page. I'm such a spoken word artist. 2 middays earlier, told you to sculpt you something new. Something novel and new, like custom attire tailored for a rendezvous, mental notes reminding you to buy a few bouquets of baby roses to please her senses. As you wipe your lenses from the blanket rainfall that came perfectly on cue, right before you knock on the door, and she answers with a genuine smile and a sigh that cools your brow because you arrived right on time. To take her for a ride in fresh style, cruise on that new bicycle through the urban jungle under a twilight moon to that new saloon that serves fusion Thai food, urging you to try something new. Something everlastingly new, like dessert without spoons, sitting at a cliffside watching night owls jog by, and the silence of crickets finding their voice is the only romantic tune you both want to hear. Sinking into each other's breath, where each touch is a therapy session, each laugh is a forward step, to let down your guard and kiss new skin into old scars to heal, to reveal a part of you that Goliath and his crew has concealed, to feel like David when you finally become courageous, to speak like Moses when she parts the ocean in your lips, to say with absolute faith, I love you. As if these words have never been heard, manufactured or used to create roads paved with poems towards something brand new. Thank you.
I really want that poem to come back
I must apologize for that piece. Like, sometimes I write, you know, you guys know, if you're writers, you write pieces half asleep, and you realize this is like, you wrote this in your dreams, and so it's kind of like on that surrealist tip, just taking it way out there, and I don't know, if you want to understand how that poem works, I'm proud of it, so there you go. Yeah! Just come on! What more can I say about Urban Legends? Is everybody having a good night?
Yeah.
I'm not texting, I swear, I'm just trying to unlock my phone to get my set list. So, you know, Urban Legends has, I guess, created some quite formidable poets, mentionable poets across the Canadian poetry scene. And when it started 5 years ago, I guess it started with an idea that something new needs to be created that's different from the rest of the poetry scenes going on. One of the things was we recognized that there are a lot of young people who want to come to a poetry show that's not necessarily based around a downtown environment, which is, you know, late nights, parties, alcohol. So to create a space for people, individuals to come where maybe their parents or their significant others felt comfortable where they were till 11 o'clock at night, kind of made sense. In every scene, I think having something like that makes sense. I wasn't there at the beginning, but all I know is when I first saw it happening, I was like, okay, I write poetry. I sucked, like, performing, but then I saw, you know, it was in a dark room. It was like, I felt like it was a cult I was walking into. You know, they were like, brother, they floated towards me, like, sign your name on the paper, brother. And I'm like, sure, I'll spit a poem. And then next thing you know, I saw fists up, and I'm like, oh my God. So that was my first, you know, venture into spoken word in late 2010. And I was doing open mics before at different places. Sean O'Gorman was like my man. Like, Sean saw me one time at an open mic. He's like, you just got to memorize your poems, man. Just memorize your poems. You're going to be so good. And he was twitching and stuff. I'm like,
I know what you're talking about.
I'm like, cool, you know? And so ever since then, it's been like a really, like, you know how hard it is running a slam every 2 damn weeks?
Yes.
You know, it's like, you're always on the treadmill, running, trying to get things done. So it's been fun. In 2012, you know, I started directing it, and it's pretty cool. Like, if you like art, and if you like supporting urban art, I think this is one of the best places, to tell you the truth, to be. Look how many people are here. Look how many beautiful faces. Look how many colors and variations and, you know, shapes and molds of people here. You don't get that. I don't know. I'm not going to finish that. I was going to say something, but I don't want to diss anybody. It's like, what? So what am I going to do now? I'm going to do a poem. I'm going to ask you which poem. I have a poem called Feel. It's more like a story, because I believe in the senses, and I think feel is a sense. Like actual, like the feel. Like, you know, people talk about reality and then metaphysical, and then you have the feel, right? And I think artists tend to live in that zone a lot. They just feel so much, right? Things penetrates them. So I have a poem called Feel, and I have another poem called 30 Degrees. Who says 30 degrees? Who wants to hear 30 degrees? Yeah. I want to hear feel.
Yeah, me too.
Feel.
Yeah. Feel.
It's not like, I know you guys are thinking both of these poems could sound like I think what you think, but they're not actually that. I'm not playing with you. They're not that type of poem. So feel, okay, whatever it is, man. Feel. Whatever. This is pretty raw. It's pretty personal. Sometimes I feel like I'm only living to feel. I came home and I quickly unbuttoned my Hugo Boss crewneck dress shirt. I pull it off slowly, admiring its see-through tees and its admirable thread count, glancing only for a quick moment at my less than admirable midsection. I warily make my way to the kitchen, where food I no longer have the palate for somehow calls my name. I ignore its aromatic lament for me the umpteenth time. And though my head is splitting with the migraine, I kiss my children all on their foreheads, telling them under my breath, Assalamu alaikum, Assalamu alaikum, Assalamu alaikum, Assalamu alaikum. I turn to my wife. 12 years of marriage and I still don't like the face she makes when she is overwhelmed. A mix of help me because I can't help myself and don't look at me while I suffer from being a hands-on mother. I send my salams to her, partly out of religious protocol and partly because I'm trying to get a sense of how her morning begun. If she rose with the blessing of the ancient sun, or if she rose from the wetting of the bed from our infant son, I know that sometimes she thinks I don't love her, because my salams have become more drier than the sun that used to hide inside her smile and come out every time I complimented her on anything. But the truth is, she doesn't know that I love her so much that I spend so much time at shows and on my phone, only wishing that I could be home to enjoy the spoils of our labor with her. Because I toil for her satisfaction. That she didn't marry a king who prefers to avoid his throne, to abandon what his right hand owns. I know that we have both grown over the years, and far be it from me to leave a garden full of fruits and nourishment alone, or to be tended by some stranger, so I toil and I stay silent. Wait for the Kodak moment when she turns to me and replies with the same bashful smile, Walaikum salam. We hug. She stares into my eyes. My chameleon gaze looks in opposite ways, right side at her, left side at the poetry running through my mind. They say you could always tell when someone is trying to lie or something that they are dying to hide by the movement in their eyes. And I don't want to tell her that I'm dying inside. That last night at my graveyard shift could have been the last time I fought this good fight. But I know that more than just a comfort for my family, I am also the spine, so I lied. When she asked me, how was your night, honey? I told her everything is all right. And I squeezed her tight. My hands digging into her back the way a lizard knows the terrain of the canyon, knows every crevice, every crack. I breathe deep, more inhale than exhales, as if attempting to capture all the glorious smells of food, flowers, and pillows soaked in oatmeal skin. Our embrace is long, and she releases me, sweet, with, are you going to get some sleep? I'm blunt. Probably not. We'll see. I move sluggishly to my room, but first take a detour to the washroom, a subconscious move I seldom realize I do. I stare in the mirror and fight the ghosts of good looks that haunt the vain part of my brain. My mental photo album quickly reminds the scrapbook that is now me that I have much work to do to get back to the way I used to look. I grab my phone from my pocket and chuckle at how ridiculous I dress just to go to my night shift. My father always told me not to wait for interviews, weddings, or funerals to dress to the nines, and somehow, though being labeled the favorite son, the one who always listened, I always found a way to be less than 10. Then again, I did have that poetry set I just attended before 11 when my night shift began. As the thought passed into other irrelevant matters, I raised the phone to the mirror and said, let me take a selfie. Confidently, placing the camera in what seemed to be 99 different angles to get the right shot. And by God and all the names God is known for, I couldn't find one, not this morning. Not with that twitch under my right eye that flares up when my REM sleep drops to its lowest peak. I wash my face. Don't even bother to brush my teeth. I was raised by a recovering addict that chose to put dental hygiene low on the scale of making ends meet and surviving. So I convinced myself that I don't need to brush my teeth because last I remembered, I didn't even eat. I finished the bathroom scene looking out the window of my future, watching my eldest son leave for his bus, and sigh at the idea that my last time could be his last time. I say a silent prayer for him to be safe, and for me to come home straight after work today, to play with him so that he does not keep asking his mom when I'm coming home, and I can tuck him into his NHL blankets right before his slumbering soul meets his Lord. I think that's it. I keep having to log into my phone. I have a few more pieces. I won't take up too much of your time. I think some of them are fun. I hope I get them right because I'm nervous. What? Yeah, I am. So, how's that experiment coming? Has it gone this way yet, fully? Someone's hogging the board. Who's hogging the board?
I'm not. I just got it.
Okay, you can take all the time you want.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah. Shout outs. Okay, so can I have, I'm just going to skip the poem here. Can I have you guys to just, soon I'm going to ask you to clap. Can everybody just do a clap for me? Let's just see if you're on clap. Wow. You know, I'm going to start, do your own clap. Let's see if you can get in sync on your own.
Clap once or clap like a bunch of...
Never been done. All right. So, eventually you can clap like that if you want to the beat of this. I'm going to do some raps. Can I do some raps?
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. This is a remix poem. If anybody knows like what I've been doing for the last 4 years, I do remix poems, and you'll probably get the hang of it when I do it. Says she want the Play-Doh, she already know though. We put it all away, so she gotta play with Lego, and we bout it every day. Like when it's time for dinner, all they wanna do is play every day. What is it?
Heard it.
Got it. Every day. Forget what the teachers say. I'm just saying homeschooling is my way. Real parents, what's up? I'm the greatest dad. Y'all don't get to do it. Type of man that'll graduate for homeschooling. Come downstairs and get the breakfast ready quick before I have to deal with 4 little needy kids. Tell my firstborn time to put the TV on. Eat hot. No. Tell my firstborn time to get his chores done. Put the plates out and open up the curtains. Set the hot water, time to get the tea on. Eating hot cereal and bowls calling me on. How you feel? Warm in the tummy so you never feel ill. I'm in the zone and I'm checking my fresh. Just got home from night shift and gave me bad breath. But hey, getting paid, I do it to pay the bills. 3 jobs in the pole, how I make it up the hill. Cohabitation, something like a relay. He's in the house in the music. Husky and Fadge Jabril at the table. Me's in upstairs trying to climb out the cribble. Eggs on the sizzle, running on the treadmill. It feels really how it feels. No, got lost it. I'm a freestyle cause I'm boss with it. You know how I get it in, smooth with it. Cryptic, my rhymes is so succulent. You wanna take it off the bone. Everybody wanna know when I'm going home. I tell them after the show. You know how I do it. Urban legends, you know. Oh, so I said she want the Play-Doh. She already knew. You put it all away, so she gotta play with Lego. And we about it every day. Like when it's time for dinner, all they wanna do is play. Every day. Forget what the teacher say. I'm just saying homeschooling is my way. Real parents, what's up?
What?
Molly in this house.
I'm watching Niggas Nose while they catch a cold. Watch you just come dinner,
do it all day.
Must have given me back rub.
I don't play.
It's you, L.
We up in this.
Shit. Who the heck stopped to put a plug in this thing? I need to be ready because they never catch you faded. Catch good for dollars while they get their hair
braided.
Never straighten because they're teaching be who you
Walk.
are. You don't need to be white to shine like a star. I'm Muslim.
That's right.
You're not.
It's okay.
Hijabi.
That's right.
Still hot. Not the earrings. I cover head to toe.
Almost everything.
Mothers wonder how it with 4 kids in
homeschooling.
Raise revolutionary kids.
Someone's got to do it.
I don't spank them on the butt.
Never?
But I will tell them, hold your tongue.
That's right. Oh my gosh, Daddy, look what's stuck in her hair. Candy says she wants to play though. She already know it. Put it on the face, so she gotta play with it. On your body every day. Like when it's time for dinner, all they wanna do is play. Every day. Forget what the teacher say. We're just saying homeschooling is our way. Real teachers, what's up?
When she got in, I was like, ah!
So yeah, I flopped on that, but I freestyled it then, so you know. I just gotta improvise. So I got a special treat for you. I'm part of a group called Missing Links.
Woo!
And yeah, Missing Links is like real dope poets who are also hip hop artists. And I'd like to invite them here to do a piece and also invite Laura Bidner back to help us with this piece. So could you put your hands together for... While Laura's getting set up, you know, a lot of people have been asking me, is this your last performance? What the heck is going on? I know I did this Facebook kind of rant thing, and I was like, I'm done. First of all, I'm not done writing poetry. I'm not done living poetically. I want to put my performance poetry on hold. I went to Ferguson, St. Louis, and I experienced like life-changing events when I went there. I experienced, you know, fear in its complete apparent form. I experienced death and pain, and that made me think to myself, like, when I go back, like, a change doesn't have to happen to me. It already happened when I was there. I spoke to people there. I went to what they call Ground Zero, where Michael Brown Jr. was murdered, executed, and I just realized on my way back, like, you know, I take a lot of things for granted. You know, I'm not a perfect human being, and I don't want to do that anymore. So something just told me, stop performing, and if something pulls you back, perform. Right? I'm listening to myself. And as artists, sometimes you always find you want to do what for the people, and you know, do it for this person. No, you got to listen to yourself sometimes. In fact, you should listen to yourself first all the time. Right? So this is what I'm doing. I'm taking a break from performing, but I'm still writing. I'm still working with youth, working in community centers. Thank you to some beautiful people who do that for me. Where are you, Micheline? Can you get? I want to give a shout out to Micheline, who's just held me down. Are you here, Micheline? She's gone. Wow. Okay. All right, but anyway, she holds me down. She gives me a lot of work to do, and so yeah, you'll see me around. You might see my poems on a wall one day. That'd be nice. Okay, so this piece is called Stroke.
Stroke out.
You guys ready to stroke out? All right. Huh?
That's side glance.
That stroke? You gotta hold the stroke.
It all started with a stroke. It all started with a stroke in the middle of the night. It all started with a stroke in the middle of the night. It all started with a stroke.
It all started with a stroke
in the middle of the night.
Daddy was
fucking 9 months, I had life. Painted brushing in the colors that gave me sight. Fine shoes from my mother officially gave me life. Chasing the same show, taking over my time. So precious in a cold world that can't wait. Told girls who wanna wait, hit me to regulate, fade, and convince the whole world to eliminate hate.
But I see
cousin with his crew, gang bang, loading up the tools, do that thing. Sticking to the rules through that bang. Love is such a fuel to that flame.
loyalty to move like a fast train.
Dead on the tracks, are in bed to relax. Every move I'm making is being watched by the cops. Cockroaches are costing my block, pulling socks and hijabs off.
Do that again like that ass up.
I'm getting used to this place. I'm getting used to sitting on the beach like a butterfly and a buffalo knows what I know. Hope what I flow, to compose a new mechanism to go. The time shifts, big dog, telepathy and synchronization never get the popular and fried. You color skies crimson red, primrose red. I'd rather swim in the stroke.
It all started with a stroke.
In the middle of the night.
It all started with a stroke.
In the middle of the night.
It all started with a stroke. It all started with a stroke.
In the middle of the night.
It all started with a...
I'm in and out of focus. I don't know how to control this. Deep in the stroke is gone. It's my field of vision. Where am I in need? And I can see them, but I feel them going swimming in the deep. How many go in, but how many gets out? Some down, tongue out. Never gets found. That's it. Can't save myself from the splashing. I gotta keep strokes and I gotta keep splashing. Infinity is somewhere in you. And I think the getting is better if we go in there too. I stroke the deep ones, space and hip lungs. And every shot taken and absorbed is that shit bump. Skin tough when the new patch will go back. So to the breaking point, don't always break some get back. So I'm like a woman, I'm like a shit rapping, no back.
It all started with a stroke.
In the middle of the night.
It all started with a stroke.
In the middle of the night.
It all started with a stroke.
In the middle of the night.
It all started with a stroke.
In the middle of the
I never thought thought that one out of the basement could lead to a life of fulfillment. Born in a hospital basement like Rhapsody. Mom and dad wild and no protection from Rhapsody. Love can be violent in the battlefield tactfully. Actually, affinity is a practice of magic, so lose your peace in the feeling like thankfully. Sharing what I inherit, moving is so inherent. User become generic, now everything's so pathetic. Get it? Now we're all a little bit apathetic to living life like there's no right to all its merits. But you said yes in the realm of the spirits. So why go atmospheric when you came from the stroke of your parents? You can kill a bust guns, create and bust nuts. I was stop until my flow is the shit and bust guts. I shot put, skeet freaks like King Tut. I'm the rock, a world of its and stroke, 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 stroke. Now we can shake hands and such, make plans to crush. I will teach you the secrets to make quits jam for just focus with no hocus pocus. Dive in, no rush, we open, low touch. You want to know us, you blow up. Demons come get hot with us on Merlin's blue dust. On the free bus, just follow us. Run back to us, we're out there. It all started with a stroke. It all started with a stroke. It all started with a stroke. My spit game different. Stroke is in the focus. Fear in the rear and death is an opponent. You own it. Use it right to make atonement. I'm out here, but I'm like years from home. I feel homeless. Lonely, it's cold. My vision blurred. I stumbled over the word. I get old. Now my stroke a little bold. Run it down, walk around like I told you. The rap game sorta like the rap game with boulders. In fact, you see it explain all of the tracks. Switching names up to a whole other rap game. It's this game is so vivid, it shall remain. Channel that anger till you feel the danger. Get to know each other till we feel like we're strangers. And dangers in this habitat for the brain dead. Stroke getting more wetter than the rain dead. From the sphere set here to bring you more life than we came with. Shit and nothing to play with. Homie. It all started with a homie. It all started with a stroke in the middle of the night. It all started with a stroke in the middle of the night. It all started with a stroke in the middle of the night. It all started with a stroke in the middle of the. It all started with a stroke. You all started with a stroke. Said we all started with a stroke. My started with a stroke. You all started with a stroke. Stroke. Keep coming out to Urban Legends. You can friend Urban Legends at Urban Legends Poetry Slam on Facebook. Yes.
What about that poem? You're gonna read the poem.
Which one? That
got passed around.
Let's do it. Oh shoot. Okay, I can't forget that. Maybe I can read it after when scores are getting tallied. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Slam can continue. Is that cool? Keep passing around. I don't know. I don't want to take up anybody's time, but also please give a round of applause for Apollo the Child and Daniel Mark Madison, who are now. Yeah, support artists, you know what I mean? Like, we don't just do it for ourselves, we kind of sacrifice a lot. Peace. Love you.